Hello, besties! Welcome to Martinez with Eddie, your ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork all the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. Well, I am actually sad today because we're gonna be talking about the finale of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and I truly love that show. If you're not been watching it, I think you need to go now on Peacock and just rewatch the whole, binge watch the whole season. It's such a great show, and we need more shows like that. I'm gonna talk about that show at the end of the episode. Towards the end of the episode, I want to start with Atlanta because the ladies of Atlanta are having a very interesting season. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how I feel about this season of Atlanta. It's been quite the hit or miss with the episodes. Like not last night's episode, but the one in the week before was really good. And last night felt like a little bit of a filler. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But on the other hand, I do feel like the ladies are starting to share more and more about their personal lives. And I appreciate that. For example, let's talk about Drew. This episode seems to be heavily focused on her music, but there was a moment between her and her sister that I think is very important to highlight. Because as somebody who has suffered from anxiety and depression myself, I think when it comes to mental health, people don't talk about it much. Even nowadays, I mean, obviously, younger people talks about it. I think the Gen Zs have a more open discussion when it comes to mental health. But it was good to see, you know, her sister reaction when they were filming and how happy she felt because she felt included in this whole process. I was watching the episode and there was a moment when Drew said that the reason why her sister's not around is because she used to work for her. I'm telling you, people need to stop hiring their brothers and sisters and sister husbands and whatever to work for them because it never works out. We all know that the biggest mistake is to mix family and business. That never ends well. We've seen it with many Bravo Labs. We actually saw it with Sanya um, last week when she kept talking about how her sister's family needs to like move out and how she hired her sister's husband to work for her, and it seems like it's creating more of a friction between the family members than bringing them together. It's hard to separate your feelings as a family member to those feelings of like, okay, we need to be productive and work and make money and all this stuff. It's a whole different type of relationship, so it's really hard to walk that line between being a family member and also being a co-worker, or being a family member and being the boss of one of your family members. You know what I'm saying? uh, we've seen the dynamic with Sonya this season, and now we started to understand that on Drew's side, they were waiting for her sister to arrive, and um, Ralph was not there for it. I mean, he went back to sleep, and the reason why I think that he went to sleep early that night was because allegedly, based on what Drew said, I mean, Rolf did not like the fact that her sister called him or felt like he was a manipulative person, that he was not good news and whatever. And if you ask me, she clocked him. She clocked him for what happened afterwards. I mean, we're watching the season and we know at the end of this whole entire filming process, Drew and Rolf both filed for divorce, but Drew got to the courthouse way before than he did. So she got I guess, the last laugh in this whole thing. It's really funny to me, um, when it comes to this divorce process, because I can only imagine Ralph trying to get to the courthouse, like driving through freaking um, traffic, running to make sure that he's the first one to file. And no, Drew did it 5 minutes before he did. I guess she ran faster. She was running for the Olympics. She took some notes from Sonia, and she decided to, to win the gold. And by winning the gold, meaning, filing for divorce first. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the video that they just released, the music video for her Already Know song. They were filming that music video during last night's episodes, and I watched it, and it's quite cringy to watch, because they kept all the, the scenes with Ralph, and I was shocked. I was expecting them to like either completely change the concept of the video, um, edit him out, just use the skating ring, and the girls, having a good time and skating and whatever and dancing. No, they left the whole storyline of her going to Raw, being sexy with him. It's given. Have you guys watched music videos of like celebrity couples? Like, for example, like back in the day, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, when he was um on her show, on her song Jenny from the Block. We also had Britney with Kevin Federline, and we had so many celebrities who decide to film with their significant other, and then they break up, and you watch the video and you're like, cringy, cringy level. Well, that's how I felt watching it. The video's good. The video production, it's okay. I'm very pleased. I know Kenya was making fun of it, saying that it looked like a. Let me read it verbatim because this is a really funny comment. Kenya said like, okay, no offense to my girl Drew, but this video is giving me low key, low budget Beyonce blow video vibes. I die. I freaking die. Kenya is such a master of the shape, but when I went to watch the video, I was very pleased. I'm like, this is not low budget. This is actually quite good. I mean, the best part of the video is definitely the skating ring to me. It's fun, it's entertaining. The girls are having a good time. They all look beautiful. So, yeah, kudos to Drew. And she looks so hot. She looks so hot in her like dancing segment of the video, which is more like just like kind of like hand, and hip kind of dance. But she's given the song still not click with me. I'm not sure if it's the production value of the song. I think they do way too much auto tune on her voice. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but there is something about the song that doesn't click with me. It's not giving me Candace. It's not giving me, not even Countess Luann. It just I don't know, but it's still good. It's still like a fun song. So I'm definitely gonna add it to my Bravo playlist. I don't know if you guys have one, but I do. I do have a Bravo playlist with like all the trashy songs and the tragic wannabe pop star songs like Kim Zolciak, uh, "Don't Be Tardy for the Party," um, which I play on the daily. I'm actually excited for Kim Zolciak. We saw her on the preview. We have all the OGs and the girls kicking with Sheree, and I'm excited about that. I'm actually more excited for next week's episode than anything because I love to see all faces come to the show, all faces to make cameos during the season. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Wig had to say. I wonder if she's gonna ride in her scooter. I wonder if she's gonna park in the handicap. Uh, it just it just brings me the memory of Nene screaming at Kim. To me, that's one of the most iconic moments on Real Housewives of Atlanta during that reunion when they were arguing over a scooter or Nene parking on handicap. I mean, that was freaking iconic. And where's your scooter? Like, where's your scooter? Where's your scooter? I say that all the time, even for whatever reason, even if it doesn't like fit in the conversation. I say it. It's great. Um, and like I said before, seeing OGs or old faces show up during the show, it gives that sense of like, you know, they still friends, they still hang out, and I wish they bring more people in the show, even just for like special appearances, not just in Atlanta, but in other shows. That's why I'm looking forward to Beverly Hills this season because there's so many girls coming back, even just for like maybe the one episode or a party or whatever. We have Camille, we have Denise, we see Cynthia making a cameo too. Even Larsa is supposed to be on this next season. I mean, it's like everybody just they invited everybody, and I'm okay with that. There was a moment last night that to me was top tier housewife, and it was the conversation between Kandi and Sheree, and that's when you know that those girls are like like vets. Like they know what they do. They're not newbies. They understand the assignment. They know how to like produce great scenes without seeing forced. They are talking about businesses because Sheree doesn't feel like Kandi is being supportive of her and her She by Sheree, you know, clothing line because Kandi keeps making like little like TikToks and short films on Instagram making fun of what happened to the website. The website did crash. I mean, we can't deny that part. I tried to see what was on She by Shure website and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see anything. It was down. You click on something and it will be like broken, you know? So Kandi was right. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I haven't bought anything from Shiba Shure. And I love that Kandi kept calling it Shiba Sheen. Like I don't know if she was doing it on purpose after the first time she said it, like she said it once and then after that she kept saying it like two or three times. And I'm like, is she saying it on purpose just to make, Shrek feel like shit? Or she just forgot at that point that it was not she, but she by Shrek. That to me was so freaking hysterical that I don't know. I actually posted it on Instagram. Like, I mean, it was insanely funny. The editors were being extra shady when they showed a side by side picture of the clothing line from the runway, the fashion show, versus what you found on She by Shira website. It's like completely different, like 100% a whole different design. And what it was on the website was not even showcased on the fashion show. Which brings the question, why? Why you create a line for a runway show, which is athletic? It's not like couture or it's not like runway type of fashion. Like where the designer creates a clothing line for couture or just specifically for runway, that celebrities as designers, for them to be able to wear them to award shows or events or whatever. It was nothing like that. It's not like she did something different. It was athletic clothing, and none of the pieces that she showcased were being sold. Nothing. So when Candy was trying to understand the reasoning behind this, once again the editors were doing the most, and they were trying to like impose, Sheree's face and Candy's face, and kind of making it seem like it was a long ass conversation. I love when they do that. They just so shady. Um, but if you ask me, I mean, Sheree is not a fashion designer. She's not a business woman in the fashion world. I'm not saying that Sheree is not business savvy, but she's not fashion savvy. And I think it's really hysterical when she told Candy, like, I don't go to you, to ask questions about like fashion, because that's not what you do. I don't, and yeah, nobody will go to you, Shire, to ask fashion questions, especially in business in fashion. Nobody is going to Shire to ask how to start a clothing line because her clothing line has not sold much. I want to know who has bought She by Shire. If you have, please let me know because I have no idea. I have none. I had never seen one person. And I tried to buy one because I like to support the housewives or the Bravo Labs whenever they release anything, just because we watch the shows, so we want to have like a little something and whatever. And I'm not going to pay $80 for a graphic tee because I can make it myself. I sell my own graphic tees on my merch store. Yeah, this is a plug, a shameless plug. I have my own merchandise. And yes, it's like $26 for a t-shirt, but it's not $86. It's not $86. So it doesn't make any sense. I don't care what fabric she uses. I don't care the type of like printer or whatever, because at the end of the day, a graphic tee you wear like a couple of times and then you toss it in the garbage. There's not much that you can do with the same graphic tee. So to be honest, Candy was trying to help Shrek last season. If you guys remember, she was the one telling her you should release uh, a t-shirt line with your quotes and whatever. Like who's gonna check me boot? Which, by the way, she now has that on her website, and that is $85 or whatever. Who's buying that? Nobody. Like, let's be realistic. She's not She by Shire. She's She by Delusional. That is like doesn't make freaking sense. Like, who is? I mean, I don't think Shire understands her market. Shire is marketing this to Bravo holics. We are not going to buy $86 t-shirt when there's so many other Bravo labs and other like Bravo content creators making really cool merchandise, very clever merchandise, very fun merchandise, to just buy a basic ass t-shirt, an overpriced one. It's like the same thing with the whole athletic line. I'm not going to buy a 250 bucks sweatpant sweater combo when I can buy the same thing on a Nike or Lululemon store, which are a quality and a brand that is known for athleisure. So my point is that Sheree is trying to come for Candy because she's making fun of her, you know, business or whatever. And Candy said like, you should be happy that I'm talking about it. Yes, it's true. I think Sheree, if she was smart, she would have capitalized in the fact that Candy is talking to her 10.3 million followers on Instagram about her clothing line. You want people to talk about it, bad or good. And Kandi was talking about it. So for her to complain to her about the way she was talking about her business, it is not such a great marketing strategy, because this is not like a restaurant. This is not like Candy's restaurant. This is not like if you put a 0 or 1 star on Yelp, it's gonna help. No, that people pay attention to. But if you make a funny ass video on Instagram about Shiba Shire, I'm sure whoever is interested will go to her website and check it out, regardless of if that person wants to buy something or not. But it's just the curiosity that creates from listening to Kandi talk about it, good or bad. So Shire needs to get more people talking about Shiba Shire, because I even forgot about it. Since she showed it last season at the reunion, I went on the website, and after like a week or so, I forgot that that was even a thing. So she needs to understand her market. If I was Shire, I would be sending out little things, whatever, a hat, a t-shirt to content creators or influencers in the Bravo niche. Like, I don't know, send me a t-shirt, Shire, and I wear it on my podcast so people can see what it looks like, but I'm not paying for it because it's overpriced. For real, like if you wanna pay $100 for a sweater with a star, be my guest. But be my guest. But I'm telling you, you can find the same shit on Amazon for like $10. That's why Kandi kept saying she by Sheen. The best part about Kandi is Kandi doesn't give a fuck. I love that about Kandi. On Instagram, somebody asked, "Did Kandi just say she by Sheen to Shire's face?" And Kandi quoted that question and answered, "Yes, I did." Hashtag RHOA. And I loved it. Because this is the type of petty drama and petty arguments that I truly enjoy in the Bravo universe, and especially between housewives, because lately every single housewife show is becoming this dark ass place that it's not even fun to watch anymore. So when housewife like Kandi and Shire are fighting over t-shirts and over, you said this about my product on your Instagram, like I love that. It's such a basic ass fight, but it's not freaking dark and upsetting, you know? Um, and like I said early on, is the reason why you can, you know, see who is the OG or the vet versus a newbie. A newbie can create a scene like that and be entertaining. Like, no, they can't. I actually gonna give a compliment to Danielle from New Jersey. She created moments like this. Super light, super petty, super funny. You know? But she's still a newbie, and sometimes it didn't land the way that she wanted it to land. But then you have a Kandi and a Shire that, you know, those are qualities that a person that has been on reality TV shows for a very long time has. You know, Kandi and Shire have that. They have that experience in front of a camera. They have the friendship and the and knowing each other for a very long time, that it feels so organic, even if it's a dumb ass argument. It was so entertaining. To me, it was definitely the best moment of last night's episode. Because if you ask me about Marlo's date, I quite fast forward that part. Watching her ride to the date was interesting because she decided to call Drew to talk about some nonsense shit. Uh, as she's going to the date, I mean, why would you call somebody you have issues with before a date in the first place? Um, Also, when before she called Drew, she was like throwing shade, saying like, "Oh, she's fake" and all this stuff. Then she called her, and she hung up on her and continued to trash talk Drew. It was so unnecessary and so produced. Once again, it showcased why Marlo should have just stayed as a friend of. Marlo is one of those people who is so obsessed with being on the show that every time that she finds a moment to produce a scene, it gets so annoying because it looks like bad acting, you know? She was talking to Sonia before in a restaurant when she was talking about the date, and or it was over the phone. I don't remember right now. I should have taken that note. I forgot. But she was having a conversation with Sonia, and the whole thing looked so staged. It looked so produced, and it wasn't because of Sonia. It was because of her, because of Marlo. You know, this really bad acting. It's it reminds me why she paid her way into the show. And now that she is a peach holder, she always tries to have this like really like big moments and over the top confessional. Like she has funny ones. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that Marlo flops every time, but maybe like 90% of the time she's flopping, and the 10% that I'm saying that is good is because she is giving a good confessional. Which, by the way, a lot of time those confessionals are either once again produced or is written for them. Like some of these reads the people said on the confessional sometimes are written for them by producers, by ghost writers and stuff like that. So she should have stayed a friend of. I still believe so. Like when she got to the to I mean before she got to the date, she was saying that I hope the guy is an eye candy with some chiching, money, cash money. I'm like, she's not fucking beating those gold digging behavior allegations that all the other cast member had said. Like Kenny had said it before. Kenny had said that the Marlo only dates white men with money because she wants the money. Uh, and Marlo said on the show, like, I'm gonna go with this black man because I don't want these ladies to think that I only date white men. But then she goes ahead and say, I hope this man is an eye candy with money. And like, it's okay, grab your bag. But to me, it's very interesting because um, isn't it Marlo rich? Isn't it Marlo like her has her own wealth? So she shouldn't be caring if the guy has money or not. It's not like she needs the money from the guy. I think Marlo has a business. I think I don't know. Honestly, I do not know, but she's not beating those allegations with that type of commentary. Made Moise Moiselli age. Oh, Made Moselle age said she's hashtag Team Marlo. That's good. I'm here for it. Like I said it before, uh, this place is for everybody. You can tell me why you like Marlo. I mean, you can leave a comment and I read it. I'm not here to drag your opinion. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. This is my opinion. I'm not a big fan of how Marlo produces herself. But if you want to share your opinion, Mademoiselle H, um, be my guest. I would like to hear it. This is a space for everybody. Everybody knows this. Um, I'm interested for next week's episode, to be honest. I'm very, very intrigued. I'm very, very interested on seeing the conversation between the vets and OGs like Kim Zolciak and Sheree. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. And like I said before, is she going to arrive in her scooter? Where's your scooter? Where is your scooter? Let's change to Summer House Martha's Vineyard now because it came to an end last night. I was so sad, you guys. I love this show so much. I met 90% of the cast in New York City while I was out for the Vanderpump Rules viewing party. You know, we went to a bar afterwards, and the cast from Summer House Martha's Vineyard was there, minus Silas and Jasmine and Bria and Simon, obviously, but everybody else was there. But I do have like little DMs and conversation with Jasmine, and especially Bria and Simon are very responsive and super fun on DMs on the social medias. But meeting the cast and talking to them about the show gave me a whole different perspective of their friendship. What we see on the show is very, very little of who they truly are. For example, Alex. Alex has a very awesome personality that we don't get to see much on the show, and the producers made him like meditation being his whole entire personality. Well, he's more than that. I Summer was amazing, and Jordan is my girl. I love Jordan, and I hope that I can get her to come on the podcast. I want everybody to come on the podcast. Preston, though, Preston was so welcoming, so kind, um, amazing. I love Preston. I want to read this because I already moved on from Atlanta, but Mademoiselle actually sent a message saying that I love Marlo because she is a good girl at heart who had a hard life. Unlike Kenya, she's not delusional, and then she's very honest about her trauma. We are all a work in progress. Marlo can be fun. Well, I can say one thing. We are definitely all a work in progress. Like I said it before, I've been through anxiety and depression, and I understand struggles, especially mental health struggles and traumas. So I agree with you, Mademoiselle. I think we are all a work in process. Um, Marlo can be fun, I guess, sometimes. Yes. Okay, so back to Martha's Vineyard now. Thank you for that comment, Mademoiselle. I appreciate it, and um, thank you for sticking around. Like I said before, this space is for everybody. If you like Marlo, you're welcome. If you like Kenya, you're welcome. If you like Kandi, if you like whatever, whoever you like, come here, have a good time, and we all chat about it. Um, One of the reasons why I truly love Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, is because they made it a point to teach the viewers, including myself, about Black history on each episode. On this episode, they were on a tour around the vineyard, and they went to different places that were very specific and very important for Black people, and the way that Martha's Vineyard represent a very important place for Black people in history. I appreciate that. I am um, always open minded to learn new things, especially when it comes to somebody else's culture and history. I think if we are all open to that, we will be in a way better place in this planet. Because just because each sector of society has struggle doesn't mean that I can associate my struggle with somebody else's struggle, especially when it comes to history struggle, like struggle that come from slavery and stuff like that. I can't speak on it because I'm Spaniard. If anything, I'm part of the problem. No, for real. I'm being honest. I know my history and I know that Spain was not very let's say that we stole a lot from other people. And I'm very aware of that. So and I'm not going to defend it. But I do appreciate to learn from other cultures. So um, when they were talking about how Martha's Vineyard was important for Black people in history, to me that was a learning experience, and that's why I always tell people go watch the show, because we focus so much on housewives and we talk about housewives so much that we forget that there are other shows in on Bravo that are just as good or even better. The cast is a great ensemble. During this finale episode, we see a dynamic between friends, like real friends. They had known each other for a very long time. And if you've been watching it, Silas and Jasmine are just recently married. You know, I mean, this is the first time of them going to the vineyard as a married couple. So Silas has been extremely annoying, because he has this idea that even on vacation, Jasmine needed to be making him sandwich. That's a metaphor. I'm not saying that he asked for her to making a sandwich. He did ask her to make breakfast at 8 a.m. and because she hasn't made him breakfast, he's not eating. I'm like, dude, go to the freaking kitchen. You are a grown ass man. So we see that kind of dynamic through the whole season, but on this final episode, we see Jasmine and Jordan talking about how Jasmine was feeling, which is really good, because Jasmine and Jordan has been friends for a long time, and during half or most of the season, Jasmine is acting as if her marriage is 100% perfect, and the way that Silas was acting was just okay. No, finally she opened up to her friend and said, like, you know what, this is exhausting. Like, I'm trying my best here, and still my best is not enough. We are on vacation. Like, make your own goddamn sandwich, for God's sakes. And Jordan is like, I'm finally seeing you and understand you more, because I did not know what to say. You're finally keeping it real with me. That's what she said to her. The group made the group decided to have like a end of the summer party, and it was a kind of like black tie type of event, which I love. I love when they decide to close a season with a party that is not just a shorts and t-shirts. I mean, they went out with a bang. They decided to wear the bow ties. The girls were dressed to the with beautiful dresses. I love this cast. It's a beautiful cast too, you guys. It's beautiful, all of them. One of the surprises on this episode was the introduction of Nick's girlfriend. She was in a trip in Africa, and Alex helped her to come to this finale party, and he wanted to surprise Nick. Tasia is Nick's girlfriend, and they seem like a great match. They seem like they are perfect for each other. They seem so loving. And Bria being messy. I love Bria. But she was being messy. Messy boots. She was being messy boots on this episode when she pulled Tasia aside and she told her that Nick was flirting with the other girls before going into the house, sending them like really like flirty DMs on Instagram and all this stuff. To which Tasha said like he's being very open about it. I'm not worried about that stuff. We have a great relationship. She didn't seem to be bothered, which good. I mean, it's okay. A lot of people were saying like, why is she being so like casual and cool about it when her boyfriend is literally like flirting with the other girls? And it's like sometimes if they are okay with it, we just gotta respect that. It seems like she knew about it. It seems like she was not going to argue with Nick on the day that they arrived to a party to have a good time, which is funny because Tasha could have easily taken the easy reality TV route, which is either fighting with Bria for saying those stuff to her, or fighting with Nick and pretend that she did not know. Instead, she was like cool. She was like, "Yeah, I know. Whatever. Let's move on." Um, but talking about Bria, the season ended with a huge bang. When I say bang, it's a freaking fight. Bria got mad at Simon, her boyfriend, because she asked him to take care of Milo and he either didn't reply to her or something. I was very confused because she got mad. They went from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, so I didn't have time to like digest the whole fight, especially because when Bria takes Simon outside and talk to him, Summer comes out and she's trying to, make sure that Simon doesn't get too upset. She's talking to him, trying to calm him down and being nice. And then she goes into Bria's bedroom and they start physically attacking each other. It's nuts. It's crazy. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Even Milo was like barking. And I think if we had like a translator for dogs, he'd be like, what the fuck are you two doing? Like, what's happening here? It was so out of nothing. Producers got involved. They decided to break the fight. And, Summer went online, went on Twitter, and she said, I think if we watch the episode, you know that I pushed Bria and I shouldn't have done it. I take accountability for my action and what I did was wrong. But it was crazy. It was definitely an interesting fight. As the fight is happening in that side of the house, on the other side is Silas and Jasmine arguing about the pens and the way the Jasmine was talking to Silas. Silas went to say, "You're not talking to your husband like that." And I wrote on Twitter, "If my husband talked to me like that, he'll be my ex before the time the sun come up." He was being so condescending to Jasmine. He was giving kind of like toxic masculinity vibes where the guy think that the woman needs to be quiet and just take everything in and not answer or not defend themselves. It was the vibe that he had this whole entire time, but this time he was screaming and yelling, and I'm like, dude, you're looking like an asshole. Like, I like this whole entire cast, but if I'm going to put in a kind of like top, whatever, top 10 or whatever, he'll be my last. He will be the last person in my on my list because he was undeniably the most obnoxious one this entire trip. The way that he talked to Jasmine, the way that he wanted to get people to vote people out of the house like it's some kind of survivor, you know? Literally, he will pull aside the group to vote people out of the house, like a survivor show or like freaking traitors or some shit like that, you know. I think his power trip were too high this whole entire season, and it just boiled down to the way that he talked to Jasmine last night. I was not very happy because Jasmine was just talking to him and defending herself, and he wanted her to shut up. And I think it's also the fact that this was their first trip as a couple with a group of friends. And I hate when men make marriage seem so outdated by making the women feel like they can't have any fun, or they can be with their friends, or they can simply enjoy sleeping in instead of waking up to make him breakfast. That was insane. When he said that he was mad that he was not able to eat every morning, like his routine was changing on this trip. I'm like, dude, you are on a vacation. There is no routine during a vacation. Actually, you go on vacation to break the routine, so when you go back home and you're back to your routine, it feels like restarting and feels like energized. But if you're gonna keep the same routine on a vacation, you're not doing it right. And that's how I feel about Silas. He's definitely on my list of cast members based on what I saw on the show. Like I said before, I met 90% of the cast except um, Silas, Jasmine, Amir wasn't in New York City either, and Bria and Simon, they were not in New York City when I went for Vanderpump Rules watch party. So I'm just basing this on what I saw on the show. Because when I meet some Bravo Labs in person, they are a whole different person than on the show. A lot of them are much nicer, welcoming, talkative. So I can judge his personality as him outside the show, but based on the show, bottom of the list. My top people are going to be top one, and the star of the show definitely is Jordan. Very close second to Bria, and I will say that Preston, Jason, uh, then Alex, Nick. So yeah, so I love Summer too. I love her. So yeah, I love this cast. So I just want Bravo to bring them back for a season two. We deserve it. I think it's great. So if you have not watched it, besties, if you have not watched this show, go to Peacock and watch it. You need to watch it from the beginning because every single episode is a whole roller coaster. Whew. I'm just happy that Bravo is giving us new material to talk about. Like we had Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, and then in 2 weeks we're gonna have Crappy Lake. Crappy Lake looks so funny. Oh, hold on, Aaron. I want to read this because this is also important. Aaron says, I was upset that Amir ended in the friend zone with Jordan. It's true. They had a conversation and it was clear that Jordan just wanted Amir as a friend. It's sad because they are both extremely good looking people. But it's sometimes, you know, the vibe is not right. But I think that a season two for this show is much needed. I think they are gonna bring just as much drama. It was a good break from the regular Summer House. I'm excited for Winter House that coming later on this year, but we are going to have Crappy Lake in 2 weeks, and then the following weekend we're gonna have Real Housewives of New York, the new cast, which I'm so excited. I know it has gotten a lot of backlash from fans and whatever. But you best believe that I'll be watching and recapping and trying to get them to come on the podcast because I already have my favorites. The previews are awesome. There was an exclusive preview last night on during Real Housewives of Atlanta, and this morning Bravo released another preview. They are so fun. They are young, fun, and they're not so young like people want to make it seem that they're in their 20s. No, they are mid 30s all the way to 50. They live all across New York, not just in one street of the Upper East Side. Sai lives in Brooklyn. That's how amazing this is going to be. We are going to be able to experience New York City from the city all the way to Brooklyn. And we haven't had that experience before. Yes, I'm pretty sure we can say that the girls from New York before they obviously went around the city, but it's different when you actually live in that place. When you see the differences between living in Manhattan and living in Brooklyn, I'm excited for that. Mademoiselle H just messaged saying, I'm excited for the new New York. It's representative of New York, and that's what I've been saying since the cast was announced during BravoCon. I remember I was there at BravoCon when those doors opened and the ladies came out. My first reaction and thought was, this represents New York more than the one before. People are not gonna like it. People are so used to the old cast. But the old cast is gonna stick around. They're not going anywhere. We're gonna have Luann and Sonia in Crappy Lake, and we're gonna be talking about it. So, it might not be on the show, but they're gonna be around. They're not going anywhere. Bravo knows that they have a very big fan base. They're not gonna let them go so easy. And then we have the Ultimate Girls Trip 5 that is coming out next year. So let's stay positive. Give these shows a chance, because when we don't watch these shows just because we don't want to, because oh my gosh, it's not the old cast. I'm like, yes, it's not. And that's not a problem. That's actually something good. Because me as a content creator, I need new material, and we're not gonna be talking about the same 3 scenes for the rest of our lives. Erin just sent me a message. She said, definitely looking forward to the new faces in Real Housewives of New York. Let's meet and see how these ladies bring it. I am in for it. Thank you. This is the attitude of somebody who appreciates the shows for what they are. They are supposed to be this new adventure for us as our viewers. We are supposed to get to know these ladies and be excited that we are going to be, watching history, because no other franchise has been rebooted completely. This is the first time that Bravo takes the chance of completely restarting a franchise that needed a restart. Like it or not, we are gonna hit a point where shows are gonna look completely different of what we used to watch them. Some housewives are gonna leave. Some housewives are gonna decide not to join the cast anymore. And sometimes Bravo has to pull the plug and restart, because we do this all the time with our computers. When our computer doesn't work anymore, what's the first thing that we do to make sure that it kind of like works? It's press the button and restart the computer. And that's what Bravo did with Ronnie. I mean, like it or not, it was needed. That last season, season 13, was horrendous. And we know that. I mean, let's not pretend that the show could move forward without being rebooted. So that's just my last thought of the night. I'll be here on Thursday to recap Orange County. So I will see you on Thursday. But before I go, please, please, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and rate my podcast and my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I'm dropping daily little news on this new segment called Martinez with Eddie, a shot of reality. Whew, it's I know a lot of stuff happening, and I'm excited. Martini with Eddie started as my little project, and I see it blossoming. And this is all thanks to you guys. And like I always say, the only way for you guys to show us content creators love is by liking, commenting, subscribing, rating our podcast. You know, if you want to like purchase a merch, or if you need me to put like a Venmo or subscription or whatever, let me know. I want to make sure that this project that I started, that is blossoming, just continue to bring you guys laugh, love, and if you feel mad about it, if you feel happy about it, I'm just happy because I'm making you feel something. And that's the point of having an opinion. So thank you so much, you guys. I will see you guys on Thursday. And like I always say, besties, say it with me. Bye, besties.